What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bad Podcast. Another episode in here with my man Brad. Brad, what are we talking about today, my friend?
Hey, we're gonna switch it up a little bit today, Dawain. We have no quote. All right, we have no
Ah,
quote because this is a real life, in
mhm.
person, live. How to kind of turn around and pivot in life. So let's talk about
Mm.
pivoting in life.
All right, get your pivot foot ready. Here we go.
Hey, good job, guys. Good job. Mental battles. Mental battles.
Hey, man, E2M for life, baby. What it do, what it be in here, my brother B, man. Another episode of the Bad Podcast, man. And as you see, it is not a midday Friday. This is we joked about this right before we went live. Like we look a little different than we normally do on a recording. We were late in the evening, as they say, and we're giving it. This is for y'all, man. We really enjoy doing this podcast and. Excuse me, I'm even coughing. This is for y'all, man. We sacrificing this week. For those that are listening and can't see
Yeah.
us, hey, just know
Yeah.
we putting it out here for y'all this week, man. We really
Yeah.
appreciate y'all, man. So let's jump
Yeah.
on this comment from the week. We're gonna
Yes, sir.
Look, we fancy, man. We fancy.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So Carla Cook, 3715. She says, E2M New G here. Love this podcast, y'all. Must be from the South. Thanks for all the time and energy you put into this. Now I'm going to make sure to share this. So we appreciate you sharing
Appreciate it,
this,
Carla.
and we're definitely making time, and we're sacrificing because like I said, we want to give you guys good content, and we're just excited to be back, B. So all right, B, let's jump into it. You're talking about pivoting. We don't have a quote. Send me some notes. I just feel like this is a live action one right here. Like we building this plane in the air.
Yeah, this is one of those, man, that people are going to get a real feel for, because this is unstructured. I just put together a few notes just off the cuff, and I just threw them at you. So before we even jump into it, I wanted to shout out all the military that fell for our country, and those that have sacrificed, because when this podcast drops, man, it's Memorial Day, and we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today, Dawain, if it wasn't for all those men and women that fought for our country and fell for our country. So my love is out for all you guys, and just thank you to all the men and women that have served our country. So shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to those surviving folks, because a lot of people make the mistake of like thanking living members on Memorial Day. The day is to remember those that have fallen. So we're not making that mistake. So we want to salute to those that survived, those that made the ultimate sacrifice, and then we pay honor and homage to those that made that ultimate sacrifice. We're super grateful. And like you said, we couldn't do a podcast, or pretty much anything we do if you weren't willing to do that. So we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And so, as we stand here today, unstructured and with no notes, and we're just kind of, freeballing today and freestyling today, right? And so as humans, we have the ability to sort of turn it on, turn it off, make that pivot in life. And so the reason I wanted to do this live, and it's funny because this is all kind of meshes together. Today we're playing a game called cricket in my class, right? And this kid that hadn't hit the ball all day, he had like 10 at bats. He hadn't hit the ball all day, but what had happened is he got down to the last at bat. His team's down by 2. So what does he do, man? You find a way. You take that pivot, you turn it on, and he got a hit. He got 2 runs, man. And that's sort of, yeah, man, dude. There's so many things that happen in sports that are funny like that. That clutch moment, right?
Yeah.
And some guys, some girls can just turn it on. And what's happening happening right now in real time, Dawain, is you and I had to turn it on, man.
We
It's
did.
I mean, I'm never up this late. It's 20 after 9. You know, I had a long day. I've been up since 3:30. You know, I'm working 3 jobs right now. You know, I'm juggling a lot, but you know, when it comes to something of good quality, when it comes to something of priority, you have to be able to turn on a switch.
Right.
Unfortunately, too many of us wait for that emergency phone call, a
Mm.
crisis, or an
Mm-hmm.
extreme situation. So I want to talk about this extreme situation that my wife sent me this morning. She, you know, I have 2 boys. I have 2
Mm-hmm.
boys, and you know, they're gonna grow up to be, you know, strong, respectful men. And so this story, this lady had 2 daughters, and this lady walks into a restroom at a pit stop, right? And they're on the side of the road. Husband's in the car waiting for him. So the mom walks in with 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters went into a stall together. Mom went to do her business. Mom walked out and waited for the 2 kids. Well, the one kid walked out, the older kid, the 10-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Hey, where's little?" We'll use Sally for an example. "Hey, where's your little Sally?" "Oh, I thought she was with you, Mom." "No, I thought she was
Mm.
with you." So what had happened is Mom went back into the bathroom looking for little Sally, left the older girl with Dad, and she said, "Sally, you in here?" And all she heard is like some muffles, right? It
Mm.
sounded like this girl was trying to say something, but something was covering her mouth. So Mom looks under the stall. All right, looks under the stall. She sees a pair of grown-up legs
Mm.
in a set of kids' legs. So what's she do? All right, this isn't some superwoman. This isn't some superhero. She busts the door down. She
Right.
busts the door down, man. That's an extreme situation. That's an extreme case. She turned it up to 11 in that moment, dude. That doesn't just happen. So she busted down this door. And there was a woman standing there with a shaver with the clippers. She had shaved the girl's head off, or shaved the girl's hair off, because they were going to put her in sex trafficking. They had her dressed in boys' clothes, ready to put her on the streets in a sex trafficking a scheme. Man, that you know, that's just a next level story. But you know, and we could dive deep on that whole thing, but that's just not what we're about. But man, it's a scary thing when you start thinking about your kids, when you start thinking about going to that next level. We can absolutely turn it on when we want to, and
Wow.
that's a deep one. Like that's a
Eesh.
next level story. But that's just, man, that's a prime example of this woman kicked the darn door down because she needed to go to that next that level 11.
Yeah, no, that's woo, that's a deep one, B. Like
Yeah,
that, you know, that hit home for me because I got,
yeah,
you know, two smaller
yeah,
young
man.
ladies.
Hmm. Hmm.
And one thing I always remind the older of the 2 is you never leave your sister. Like
Hmm.
that we when we're in the house, you know,
Hmm.
and she comes, hey, what's rule number 1?
Yeah.
You know, you never leave her. So
Hmm.
that makes me further
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a
yeah,
scary thing, man.
further on notice when it comes to that, man. But no, that is you know, that is definitely a you know, a really tough one, you know. But
Hmm.
like you mentioned, the person had to, you know, they had to kick it on,
Yeah.
and we all do, you know,
Yeah.
even on some, you know, not as of an extreme of a circumstance, man. You know, I think about one of my favorite stories to tell about my dad is I wanted rims like really bad. Like I'm a 80s baby, so that mean I was in the late 90s, 2000 when
Yeah.
rims were the thing. So like
They
I
see
wanted,
me rolling.
yeah, man. I wanted rims, man, so bad. And so I worked all summer to save up for rims and not knowing, you know, how much rims really cost, you
Mm.
know. And
Hmm.
so I finally got this guy who's like, I got these 5-star chrome rims, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, all right, you know, they 16s. And I was like, okay, it was like, all right, you know, 500. So said, gave the man $500, came home, the rims didn't fit.
Mm.
The lug pattern
Yep.
was a little bit wider
Hmm.
than mine,
Yeah.
and so I was distraught, bro. I had worked all summer, gave this man my money. You know, my dad, I didn't want to wait for him. I wanted to do it myself. So that night, man, after my dad got off work, you know, he saw me. What's wrong? And I told him the whole thing, and I went back in the house, man, because I had tried like all afternoon to get them tires on. I went back in the house, man, and you know, dinner came, dad came in, then he went back outside. Then about 10:30, 11 o'clock, he's still outside. And I'm like, what's going on? And I go outside and I hear him. My dad is out there filing the holes
Oh my God.
to the rims so that it would fit. Like, he had already worked a full shift, already
Yeah.
had a full day,
Mhm.
you know, but he was out there with a file in hand, like nothing electrical, like literally
Yeah.
rubbing the lug pattern, man, just so the rims will fit on the car
Mhm.
of his, you know, 18, 19 year
Yeah.
old son that, you know, did something that he didn't even approve of, but he found another,
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
even, like, it's supernatural to me because he literally did it for all 4 tires, all 5 lugs by hand. Like, just think about that. That's like, I mean, that's almost like sawing out of prison. Like, that's on some like
Yeah. 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 Oh, it is, dude. I mean, I've told the story about Dufresne, Andy Dufresne in the movie Shawshank
yeah,
Redemption,
man.
right? Yeah, he's up there with the filing knife or whatever, and he's trying to chisel his name into the concrete. Boom!
Yep.
Ooh, a bigger chunk came off. Now over
Yep.
time, what happened? He dug and he dug and he dug and he dug and he built this big tunnel, and that's how he escaped Alcatraz. It wasn't Alcatraz. It was a different prison, southern
Yeah.
prisoner, right?
Mm-hmm.
But man, like that's just that next level. And you want to talk about patience, you know, that patience goes right along. Like your dad's sitting there with a filer, like, you know, that takes some time, you know, and we can, you know, this is a sort of like a fitness growth podcast. So we
Right.
can relate this to fitness. A lot of us will, you know, oh, I don't want to wake up in the morning. I'll do it right after work. But if you
Mm-hmm.
contemplate and you put it off, that's usually the last thing that you do. It's the last thing that you want to do because yeah,
Yep.
you just worked an 8-hour day. You just
Yep.
had to take care of your kids. You had to cook dinner. Like, but sometimes you have to find that dormant energy that's gonna lift you up and get you over that hump. And that's, you know, it's got to be a priority, Dawain, because this is something
Mm-hmm.
that provides quality to our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does, man. It does. And you know, the same way you, like you said, you find it, and for other things, you have to do that same thing for fitness. Because I hear that all the time. And like, you know, I don't have time, or I don't feel like it. You know, like, I don't either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when you see me posting, like, it's like I don't always feel like going to the gym. I always feel like, you know, getting on the treadmill. I don't always, it's not, but I've made it a priority, man. And
Mhm.
that's the difference. You know, you have to prioritize it.
Yeah.
And it's not for vanity's sake. You know,
Sure.
I want to put that out there, man, because a lot of people are like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you doing it because you want to have big muscles. No, no, no. There's more to it, man. You know,
Yeah.
they don't know how I felt when I was, you know, 260,
Sure.
265. And, you
Yeah.
know, they don't know how I felt when I used to have to take a deep breath before I tie my shoe, you know. And so I'm gonna do every and anything I can do to keep
Mhm.
me from going back to that guy, man. And if that
Yeah.
means, you know, getting up mad early, you know, me and you,
Mhm.
3:30, 4 o'clock, getting up early
Mhm.
and knocking it out, because that's the only time we have. Or if that
Yeah.
means me going, you know, late in the afternoon or at night before
Yeah.
bed, and because, you know, I want to get it in, that's what it is,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's not a feel good, you know, I'm motivated or I'm pumped or I'm inspired. No, it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Right.
got to get it done. Like, that's
Right.
where we are, man.
Yeah. And it's nights like these, Dwayne, that build that resilience, that fortitude, that discipline, right? Because it's always the days that you absolutely despise what you're about to do. So, like right
Yeah.
now, I don't despise getting on the podcast right now, but it was something that I had to muster up the energy for
Yeah.
because I'm shot, man. I'm working on
Yeah.
5 hours of sleep like I normally am, but I'm usually not up this late. So, you
Yeah.
know, when you're you know, say you have a 45-minute cardio section, or you have a circuit to do, or you have to go to the gym, and it's one of those days that you have to literally peel yourself out of bed or peel yourself off the couch
Oh
to
yeah.
get up and get to that piece of equipment. That's the hardest part, is just
Sure.
getting to that equipment. But once you can initiate that momentum and once you can initiate those repetitions, then that starts to come a little easier.
Yep.
But over time, you're strengthening your mental toughness every
Mhm.
time that you come back and you just invest a little bit more and invest a little bit further. You're developing that mental discipline, that mental fortitude, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, so true, man. And one of my favorite quotes is there will never be a workout that you'll regret.
Hmm.
You know, or you'll
Yeah,
never regret working out. You know, you'll
yeah,
regret not working out, but if you
sure.
make it to actually doing the workout, You will
Yeah.
not like nobody's finished the workout. Was like, man, that was a waste of time, or man, that was
Right.
nobody has ever said that,
Nah.
man. If you
Nah.
make it to that point, like you said, peel yourself off and
Mm-hmm.
get to that equipment. By the time you get done, you're gonna be glad that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said,
Yeah.
you're gonna be just a little bit more resilient, a little bit more stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you talk about feeling good after a workout. You want to talk a little bit of science, endorphins. Okay. When you get out there and you do some sort of fitness, you do some kind of
Yeah,
movement,
man.
it releases endorphins in your body, makes you feel good. Every single day in my class, okay. I'm talking every day. I'm not talking every other day. I'm not talking about once a week. I'm talking every single day. I have at least one student that will tell me, Mr. Barmo, I don't feel good. I can't participate in your class today. I'm like, listen, just try your best. Just try your best. And by the end of the class, they're smiling. They're having a good time. And a lot of times, it's a lot of those times, it's those days that you don't feel good.
Yep.
And you convince yourself, you convince yourself that I'm not up to the task. I'm not up for the challenge. I'm not up for this exercise or this movement, or I'm not up to
Right.
invest. I'm not, and then all of a sudden, you start to spiral out of control. But if you can get yourself out there, that one time, all right, you start to feel better and you start to tap into that untapped greatness, okay? Because we all have a little bit of that untapped greatness, but a lot of us are fleeing that untapped greatness because few of us are willing to, fight through that. We talked about brush and in dense fog and forest and all that. Few
Right.
of us, very few of people in the world are willing to fight through that to see what's on the other side. Man, we talked about the Emerald City. You're fighting to get to that Emerald City, only knowing that it's only another dense forest. But we gotta start going for the gold, man. We gotta start going for everything because ain't nobody coming. Nobody's gonna come. Nobody's coming to save us. And we live in a society where it's just acceptable to kind of go through the motions because, number one, we don't want somebody to go farther than us. We don't want anybody to succeed more than us. We don't want anybody to thrive around us. Okay. We want everybody to be sort of at our level. So when we start to see somebody thrive, we pull them back. Okay. We encourage them. Hey, don't do that. That's not for you. Running's not for you. Fitness ain't for you. Are you on that diet, boy, again? I ain't on that diet. I want to feel good. I want to feel good about myself, So, in a society where we accept mediocrity, we set our lives on cruise control. Man, I encourage everybody just to tap in and max out because life's passing us by way too fast, and far too many people are not progressing like they should be.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. 100%. Excuse me. Yeah, that, I think about the whole like kind of like it's almost like a button, man, to activate, like to get to that superpower, man, and to do that thing, it's almost like a, what I mean, I'm thinking like a cartoon or something like you find that button, man, and
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, man, it kicks on, man, and sometimes, I mean, a lot of times we have to hit it ourselves, man. Even if it's like in certain circumstances, especially like the one you open up with, it clicks, like, you have to respond. It's not a time to, but sometimes you gotta like find that button yourself and hit it. It's like, okay, because I talk like I talk to myself all the time. All right, Dawain, time to do something. All right, time to get up. Go ahead and knock them circuits out. So that's me hitting my button, like, okay, here we go. Let's get it. Let's get on the bike. Let's go on, let's get on the tread. Let's do this thing. Look, I'm here at the house working. All right, get back on the computer. Like, get up.
Yeah.
Like, get back to work. It's that button, man. You have to find, man. And I think, the more you try and the more you make those attempts and the more you just kind of search that button out for you, man. And it'll definitely you'll build up that muscle where it's easier to find and it's easier to activate and get into that, man.
Dude, muscle memory, right? It
Yes,
becomes a
sir.
part of you. You know, you're ingrained in what you pursue, you know, relentlessly.
Hmm.
Whatever you pursue relentlessly is going to be a part of you. And I do the
Hmm.
same thing, dude. So like when I was at the Cleveland Marathon last week, there was a handful of times like I started to slow down, I started to lose my pacer, like I couldn't keep up. And my thing is just let's go. Let's
Hmm.
go. And I'll
Hmm.
say it. I'll say it 15 times and I'll be out there. I had my headphones on. I have no idea who's around me. I have no idea
Right.
who's judging me, who's looking at me.
Don't care.
I don't care. I'm out there.
Mm-mm.
Let's go. People are looking at me. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. And that was how I was on my run this morning. I had a 50-minute tread class this morning. I did
Hmm.
not want to get on that treadmill, but you know, you get on the treadmill, you
Yep.
take the first steps, and then you take
Yep.
the second steps, and you take the
Yep.
third, and then you just continue to create that momentum. And you know, I was just thinking about this and something you said, and I can't even remember what you said, and I just wrote it down in my notes here. There's a lot to be said about body language and the
Mm.
vocabulary that you're using. Okay, so
Hmm.
man, I think it was what you were saying about just activating and you know Mighty Mouse, and you know a lot of times, man, we talk ourselves out of doing things before we're even giving it a chance, man, and
Yes.
that language, that verbiage that we're using, we got to switch that up and stay positive, man. Too many times you see somebody walking around, they're hunched over, they're slumped over, man. Body language, man. Be
Yep.
confident. It doesn't matter
Yep.
if you
Yep.
have any confidence or not. Be confident. You know, put that chest a little bit. All right, but
Yep.
start using the right verbiage. Start using the right language, the right vocabulary. All right, and start initiating these actions that you should be taking to promote a better life.
So good. Yeah, no, for
Boom.
sure. That's something that's spot on, man. And that's something I use or learned playing corner, playing cornerback. For quarterback, see your head drop or see your shoulders. Oh, I
I'm
I
going
got
after
him
him.
now. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
got him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even if you got burned on that last play, man, you gotta have your head up, you got shoulders up, you gotta have the demeanor, you gotta have the confidence. Like, oh, you got me that
Yeah.
time, not the next
Yeah.
time. So
Not this time.
that's big, and I carry that, even now, man. Even in what seems to be losses, it's not, man. It's a learning opportunity for me.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
definitely, that's spot on, man. So anything you want to hit, man, kind of close out before we get to
Yeah.
the last segment here.
No, I'm just going to piggyback off of what you just said. You know, there's no such thing as losing. There's only life lessons. All right. So if you're finding yourself falling back a little bit or stumbling or fumbling, it's not a loss. It's a learning experience.
Absolutely, absolutely, good deal. All right, so
Yes,
one of
sir.
the compliments we got was, hey, we need to have longer shows so it matched their cardio. So just, I told them we'll think about it. We'll figure that part out. So
I'd be
we'll see.
putting us at 10 p.m. tonight, baby.
Right,
I might be dozing off on the live screen.
right. All right, man. Let's get into this last segment.
Do you know?
All right, this week, do you know, is on me. And forgive me if I've already said this, but because I can't remember. My do you know moment is, do you know or did you know that my first name is not Dawain? Yeah.
But let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. My wife actually does know this. My wife
Yeah, she
knows
does.
this.
She has to.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, no. So my first name is actually Benjamin. Benjamin Dwayne Atkinson. Yeah. So I'm not sure why they call me Dwayne, and that was the one that stuck. But yeah, Benjamin is my first name. A lot of people don't know that. I don't put it anywhere. Literally.
Okay.
Like yeah, is I go by
I,
Dwayne,
I
what I was called.
Dwayne, I like the word. I like the name Benjamin, so I'm gonna start rolling with the Benjamin boy. I like that.
I mean,
I like it.
I like the name too. I mean, it
I
even
like
it
it. That's a
even
good
has
name.
a biblical meaning, man. It's the son of my right
Yeah.
hand, and so
Mm,
that me and my dad super close. So yeah, right hand man. So but yeah,
love that.
that's my first name, man. Benjamin Dwayne, and that is the do you know moment of this week, man.
Well, Benjamin, I'm digging it. This was a good podcast. We found that energy. We activated. We flipped the switch, man. Take this plane down with us.
Yes, sir. We're taking it home. We appreciate you guys listening to the Bad Podcast. Make sure you share, tell people about it, like it, leave your comments. If you're lucky, we'll throw it up on the screen and we'll talk about it and smile at it and all of that good stuff. So till next time, we'll have more energy next time, if that's even possible, because we always got the energy, baby. But here we go, baby. Here we go. Y'all have a good week.
Here we go. See you guys.